The scripture says, in order to be born into a privileged human life, it is core to live within the Buddhist precepts and vows whilst implementing the 6 paramita in line with oneself, and in doing so, dedicate these to all sentient beings. These are examples of positive foundations. Thus, today, not only do we appreciate and commend ourselves in having a healthy body, but being able to come into the temple to learn Buddhism, for the sake that in our next lives we will have a healthy body or escaping samsara, reaching enlightenment.
Let us learn how to live the ways of the Buddha. 6 paramita, otherwise known as the 6 perfections: generosity, keeping to precepts, tolerance, discipline, concentration, and wisdom.
Bodhisattva Land Tantra explains what the Tao of practicing generosity is. This is instinctively from birth having the heart of no greed, great compassion, generous spirit, and also providing everything that you can to others. This perfection is the enlightened quality of altruistic generosity offering and charity that is from unconditional love, which is free from any attachment and expectation. The essence of this perfection is from our genuine concern for others, irrespective of their individual circumstances. In practicing of offering our time, efforts, money, food, clothing, or gifts to help others, it is the cure for afflictions of miserliness, possessiveness, and greed. This is not solely applicable to helping other people. It can be to other flora and fauna. We can practice this perfection of generosity by embracing all living beings coming from the heart.
The Buddha scripture states a story along the lines of this. A long time ago, there was a couple who was poor, who lacked material items except for a blanket. One day, a Buddhist monk came around for alms. The wife presented the blanket to the monk. As a token of appreciation to the generous donation, the monk invited the wife to attend a Buddhist talk. During the talk, she realized that her current situation of poverty was a result of her stinginess in a previous life. After discussion with her husband, they would like the blanket given to the monk to be offered to the Buddha. The monk brought the blanket back to the temple, and the Buddha used both hands to receive the offering, and in doing so, blessed the couple.
The royalties who heard the Buddha's speech were extremely surprised. They questioned why the monk would even want to accept a dirty blanket and yet still give blessing. The Buddha, sensing the bewilderment, replied, "Although this blanket looks old and dirty, in terms of wealth, it is all these people have. The purest form of donation marks the most sincere offering." As a result of the sincerity shown by the lady, she was blessed for the next 91 reincarnations with very beautiful soft skin and never having a lack of food or clothing. Because she listened to the Buddha's teachings and was relieved of her worries, she was later reborn into the time of the Shakyamuni Buddha, practiced the Buddha's teachings, and was later ordained as a Buddhist monk, thus attaining a blissful state free of worry and worldly desire.
It is very rare but great to make offerings when one has very little in one's possession. For the wealthier, they may not be concerned about giving as they do not lack for material possession. For the poor, whom do not have much, donations of possessions may not be such an easy task. When they donate possessions obtained from difficulty, this behaviour attracts greater merit. Therefore, practicing generosity or giving offerings is not measured by the quality or quantity of the item. The most important aspect is from the donor's heart and purity. It is most precious when one looks to others in a fair and respectful fashion. If one expects something in exchange or return for the act of generosity, they will still receive some merits, albeit extremely limited. Various categories of offerings include monetary donations, giving Dharma teachings, helping others eradicate fear. Monetary offerings are giving the assets that we have to others who may be ill or in need of assistance. Giving Dharma teachings is using Buddhism that we have learnt and practiced as well as our wisdom to help others foster good spirit. Eradicates negativities and helping others to understand the values and meanings of life, letting people come of their own free will to learn and practice. The third one is the giving of fearlessness to others, provides love to other people, and gives them confidence and courage.
The scripture also says that if a person is miserly, they will most likely be reborn as a hungry ghost. However, if they are reborn as a human, they will most likely be born into struggling poverty. On the other hand, if the person is able to give acts of generosity, then they will enjoy forevermore luxury and happiness. How we live in this life, for example, generous versus stingy behavior, will dictate how we will live in our next lives.